My name is Dashana Lane. So today I will be presenting about securing a seat at the table. So different careers in psychology and related fields. So that may be social work, mental health counseling. I think a lot of what they miss in a lot of psychology programs is that they don't tell you until like senior year. It's not much you can do with a bachelor's in psychology. And so kind of how we break it down, we have like our psychologists. And so as a school psychologist, we work in a school setting. So these three paths are typically what you see in a school setting. And so as a school psychologist, what does our workload look like? We do counseling. We also do crisis prevention and intervention. And so for me, sometimes my role in the school, like if there's a death in the community, we may go to that school and provide support to the teachers, the students. Then we also identify different tiers, so academic and behavior interventions. And then we do a lot of consultation and collaboration with, teachers and parents and families. Social workers, very similar. They support with crisis interventions. They do a lot of advocacy. And so I think that's the difference with the social workers. They do a lot of that advocacy piece, and then they're very heavy in the community. And then mental health counselors, a lot of those are also like guidance counselors as well. Some of the roles may be interchangeable. So they refer students for mental health services. And so ours here also do some counseling services. They may conduct trainings on mental health topics and consultation as well. And so again, just being very privy of, what your goals would look for. And so essentially, all of these career paths is about, helping families, helping the community. And so if you have an interest in positively impacting the lives of the youth. And so a lot of you, kind of speak to, as you get to an adult, a lot of these underlying issues that are still there. These issues, a lot of these stem from childhood trauma, childhood experiences. And these help parents and educators offer a flexible school schedule. There's a wide range of responsibilities, and then there's different work settings. A lot of you also mentioned like working for yourself. Right now we're in the day and age of like entrepreneurship, and just being able to take ownership of what you want to do. And so what does it look like when you're working with students, when you're working in the mental health field? So you're able to help students, parents, teachers, help students who have learning difficulties. And so we're looking at behavior and attention problems with peers, just things that happen that students go through, depression and other mental health issues. And we know those issues may stem from childhood, teenage years, and then it travels on to adult years. It just doesn't go away. Coping with crisis and trauma, which could be, personal, or it could be, outside of your personal scope. Poverty, violence, homelessness, and then different family issues. And so the next question was like, what are some of you guys looking for in a career? Some people pursue different careers, because it's very lucrative. And then others, like myself, I chose a career that I knew I would wake up and be, passionate about doing it. And so the first thing I want to talk about is just choosing the right path. And so this is the most effective tool, because it'll be successful in, how you identify different graduate programs, graduate schools, and choosing the right program. And so the first thing is you want to decide if you want to pursue a master's or a PhD. And so, of course, with a PhD or any doctoral degree, it opens up the opportunities that you have. So a lot of you mentioned that you want to work in private practice. So that would lead you on that PhD route. In psychology, you also want to make sure that the programs are accredited, APA or NAS. And then you also want to collect information about the programs that you're interested in. And so again, like I said, start doing that now. Like I knew I wanted to go to a HBCU. So I had started looking at, Howard School Psychology program, both the master's and the doctorate programs, and looking at what each program, expected and what it entails. And so for like the doctoral program, you had to do an interview, you had to have an autobiographical sketch, all these letters of recommendation. So things that I had never really heard of before. And so I started preparing to get those things available. And so again, the process for, any of these career paths, high school, you attend college, you prepare for graduate school, and then graduate coursework. And so that may be master's, that may be doctorate, maybe master's, then doctorate. And so a lot of you mentioned like your majors now, like psychology, social work. We have like a lot of sociology, family and child sciences, education. And even now you want to start building your like professional experiences. So working at summer camp, YMCAs, mentoring programs, or whatever aligns with your career path, so that you can start building. Because when you start submitting your resumes, they're going to be, less than a page. You won't have a lot of experience, but you want to have something on there that kind of paints your profile. And so I told you guys I teach like a senior seminar course. And so I have a lot of students who are in like graphic designs. And so a lot of them will like try to put their picture at the top of their resume and like all this color. And I'm telling you guys, keep it, simplistic, get to the point. like a little one pager. And so what would you include in your resume? So your header, so just your basic information, your name. We kind of shine away from putting your address on there because again, a lot of times your resume may be online on the internet. And then you want to talk about your educational history. So your undergraduate, degree, any, certificates that you may have, any minors. And then if your GPA, I think the rule of thumb is if it's higher than a 3.5, you list it. If it's lower than that, you don't, list your GPA on there. And then you want to talk about your relevant experiences. And so that may look like, any professional roles that you've had, any, internships, leadership roles, highlight that. And again, like I said, you guys probably won't have a whole lot of experience at this time. So you want to highlight what you do have. And then your research and publication. So those of you who are looking to go that doctoral route, start seeking out different research opportunities. And so when your professors are sending out these emails about, needing like a research assistant or individuals that want to help with research, start trying to conduct that research. And then that also goes into, the skills and certification. So of course, like those courses, their certificates, and then volunteering and extracurricular activities. And so you want to build your profile. So if you don't know, what to include on your resume or if this experience align, kind of look at the program that you're applying to and say, is this something that they would look for? This is part of my story. And then some tips and I have a cheat sheet that I'm gonna share with you guys too. But you want to tailor your resume to the program. Again, when they're, feeding through hundreds of, applicants, they want to look at the ones that are, applying for their program and that fits their program best. You want to highlight your relevant experiences. And so again, you may have 2 or 3 different experiences on there, but you want to make sure like your descriptions are solid. And you want to make sure that it really outlines your roles and responsibilities and highlight what you did, while you were at that position. And then you want to showcase your skills and things that you've done, within your undergraduate career. And then you want to include your personal achievements. And so if you're a part of any type of, honor society and things of that sort, you want to, highlight that as well. And so you guys want to highlight, the most pertinent information. And you want to keep it clean, make sure there are no grammatical errors on there, no spelling error, because it makes you look careless. It makes it look like you didn't take the time. And I've heard recruiters say if they see an error, they just throw it out because this is the only image that they have of you before they call you back in for interviews. And so you want to make sure that it reflects who you are truly. And then your personal statements. And so as you guys are going off to, graduate programs, most graduate programs going to want a personal statements. And the questions and the prompts may vary a little bit, but you want to tailor it again to that program. And so you want to give yourself enough time. And so of course, writing is a process. You want to give yourself time to, brainstorm. You want to be able to create rough drafts. You want to get some feedback. And so that may be your friends, that may be mentors, professors. You want people to be able to look through your personal statement. And then you want to have time to edit it again. You want to define your personal narrative. And so what is your story? Your story may be your passion for, saving the world or your passion for helping individuals with mental health issues. But you want to make sure that you highlight that in your personal statement. What is your narrative? And then you want to identify what makes you stand out from the applicant pool. And so as they're going through hundreds and hundreds of applications, what makes you stand out? What makes you different? And then you want to be specific. Don't just show them, don't just, show, also tell as well. And then again, you want to personalize each statement for each school and program. And so one thing, I don't want you guys to be like me, and I've made this mistake before of having the wrong college name in the wrong personal statement. And so you guys want to double, triple check and make sure it's tailored to that program. And again, omit any typos or any grammatical errors. And then again, as you're building your profile, and again, it all starts now, you want to try different experiences and seeing what's worked for you. Also build meaningful relationships. And so as you guys are going to be, having different summer jobs, different internships, you want to build and maintain those relationships because you never know where that may lead you. And don't be afraid to hear no. I've heard no 1,000,001 times. And especially like when I wanted to intern in California, I emailed over, I would say about 60 different schools in the big old state of California. And I got about 59 no's and 1 yes. And so you will get, doors closed in your face. You'll apply for, so many different opportunities, and that may not be the right opportunity for you, but keep pushing. And then networking, never underestimate the power of networking. And so whether it's like, a conference like Unite, or, you may be at a professional organization at your school, network, talk to the people around you. You never know who can help you, reach your goals.